Welcome to Town Hall here on Earth Day 2009, where we're here to recognize and celebrate a community-wide commitment to reducing greenhouse gases, cutting back our use of energy, and saving money. And those are great things, and people kind of get used to hearing them. So I try to always think about other ways to communicate that. And given that we're heading into town meeting season, I thought I'd tell you about a government that is going to, in the next year, they have put in their infrastructure project, they're going to build 1,500 schools, 86 hospitals, roads and bridges, plus a high-speed rail link between two cities. Now, in this economic environment, that's pretty impressive. And that government serves about 27 million people. So that's about 4 times the size of Massachusetts. But take 1,500 schools, divide by 4, 375. We could use 375 new buildings, couldn't we? Anybody know what government I'm talking about? Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia gets to do that, of course, because we buy lots of oil. 20 million barrels a day is about what we use. And that's just, it's a huge number, and it doesn't really mean anything. So I want to try to bring that home to us. And on a per capita basis, collectively, we, the citizens of Needham, through everything we do, use about 2,000 barrels of oil a day. And about 600 of those come from OPEC countries, like Saudi Arabia, so they can build all those nice schools. 600 barrels of oil is still hard to contemplate. I tried to figure out how big it is, and it's about, if you made a cube 16 feet by 16 feet, by 16 feet into the second floor, that's 600 barrels of oil. It still doesn't help me understand the magnitude. So then I think about, at $50 a barrel, in 1 year, we are transferring $11 million of our wealth to OPEC. 11 million. Now, we're going into budget season. We know what we're faced with. Think about it for a moment. That's about a third of what we use. If we were able to save and reduce our use of oil by 10%, we could keep $3.7 million here, right here in the community. We could fix a lot of roads and provide a lot of services to the community for that $3.7 million. And that's really why we're here. We're here to celebrate the efforts that we're taking as a community to save energy. And that's a community-wide commitment. That's not just Green Needham or citizens, that's the town and the schools. And so today we're going to recognize the groups and individuals who have stepped up to reduce their energy use in Green Needham's 10% challenge. And we're going to hear from Dan Gutekunst about the next step in the challenge, where the schools are going to step up and help us reach more people and what they're doing to save energy. And then from Selectman Jerry Wasserman and our Director of Public Facilities, Chip Laffey, about the many things that are going on right here in the town that the community is doing. And this is a very reinforcing environment. None of us are doing this alone. We're not just standing up and doing it. Now, we as citizens are stepping up to take our part. We're kind of prodding along the schools in the town. The kids in the schools are hearing about it and prodding us back as parents, and that's how we get things done. Green Needham's steering committee got together last summer and said, what should we do? And we're very pleased by the reaction we had in the community. People seemed to really be enthusiastic, supportive about what we were doing. We did the solar challenge and got the solar array that's going to go on to the High Rock School. We started a project to get a Met Tower at, we hope, at the RTS to see if we have enough wind and other things. But we felt that people were supportive, they understood it, but we wanted to help people actually take action. So, and a lot of credit, most of the credit for this goes to Eleanor Rossellini, who's taking a well-deserved vacation. So that's why I'm doing all of this. But we came up with the idea together of a 10% challenge and try to make it as easy as possible. This is not a 12-step diet program or an incredibly complicated thing. We put together a very simple online checklist with kind of 18 ideas all across the spectrum. So if you have to travel for business, you can find other things to do. You know, if you have to have a bigger car because you have kids to transport, there's other things you can do. There's things for everybody. And then we said, okay, we'll kick this off and we'll try to get folks in the community. We had no idea whether people would do this, whether they would care, how to get started. So we said, well, let's see if we can get 100 people to do this in the first couple months. And then we decided, well, we should do this the way we've done everything with the collaborative, because the collaborative is residents and it's people from the schools and from the town, from businesses and from Olin College. And let's get people working together, doing things together, because it's more fun and they kind of egg each other on. So Eleanor came up with this terrific idea of putting together groups and inviting people in churches and houses of worship or other kinds of social groups to get together and do the challenge. And they have responded. Since we started the challenge, over 205 people, households, have taken the challenge. They pledged to reduce their carbon emissions by about 1.5 million pounds. That's like taking 150 mid-sized cars off the road. So that's not insignificant. And we've only reached 200 households. We have a lot more to go. But we want to stop today and recognize those groups that have done a great job. So I have some certificates that Eleanor and the group put together First, for gold level recognition for the Board of Directors of Needham Community Farm, 100% participation for all of them, reducing about 58,000 pounds. And Debbie, come on up. And thank you for your efforts and for those of the community farm. Thank you. Gloria. Kalmia Garden Club. Reached bronze level, 20% member participation in the challenge. And that's going to be you, Teddy, right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Dan's going to have to play dual role here today because our Science Center staff, all 4 members of the staff participated. They're going to reduce carbon use by take about 33,000 pounds of carbon out of our atmosphere. And every one of the Needham Health Department staff participated and reduced carbon dioxide emissions by 72,000 pounds. So thank you. Okay, the #1 book club. 6 submissions, 23,000 pounds. Susan. We also want to recognize Temple Beth Shalom, who had started a program probably a little bit earlier than we started the 10% challenge to reduce the carbon footprint and have signed up 56 families. We're going to want to recognize, because there's lots of different ways to do this. As much as we want everybody to do the 10% challenge, there's plenty of other ways as well. Bronze level recognition for the Congregational Church of Needham that got 10% member participation. 30 members have participated. Up to 16, actually, well over 10. Makes plenty. Congratulations. Gold level recognition to the First Parish Needham Unitarian Universalists that got 30% participation of the households, 65 households, and reduced about 500,000 pounds of carbon. Congratulations.
Well, Eleanor Rossellini is a member of our
Oops,
congregation.
this way, sorry.
And so she challenged our children to challenge their parents and other members of the congregation to do this. And we were so pleased when we surpassed our goal. And as of yesterday, we've got 66 households.
Outstanding. And I know Susan said a certificate wasn't necessary, but we also want to recognize the Wellesley Friends who took the challenge and received recognition. And then finally, I think, Susan, you're coming for this one, gold level for the League of Women Voters who got 40 of the 106 members participating. As Winston Churchill said, it's not the end, it's not even the beginning of the end, it's really the end of the beginning.